Hey, you want to see something really scary?
What's your favorite scary movie?
I'm gonna scare the hell out of you.
What was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
What's blood for, if not for shedding?
Welcome to Fright Night.
Welcome back to Jumpscare. I'm Betty.
And I'm Chad.
This week we're covering 2023's Lovely, Dark, and Deep.
Congrats on the dream job. Been after this for years, ain't you?
Leave nothing but footprints. Kill nothing but time.
Morning, Rangers.
114 responding, over.
There's no database for people who go missing in the national park.
And there are a lot of similarities between these cases.
Wake up! This is where you need to be. You're taken from us. We have a missing person. Be safe out there, Rangers. Over and out.
They take. And we let them. Who? Who knows?
I don't understand what's happening.
They keep us here.
Wake up!
This was written and directed by Teresa Sutherland. It's her first feature-length film, and it's starring Georgina Campbell, who we have seen before in the film Barbarian. She may be the new Scream Queen. Is that what we're going for? The non-Caucasian Scream Queen? Yeah. I'll take it. She is lovely, and she can act. So...
Also, we got in this one, there's really only a couple more people in the movie. There's a few other characters, but the only ones that have any major screen time is the guy playing Ranger Jackson, the actor's name is Nick Blood. You would know him from Andor, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. The other one is another one of the Rangers, and she's played by Wai Chin Ho. You'd recognize her from a lot of the Marvel TV shows. She was in Iron Fist, Daredevil, The Defenders. She's been in Orange is the New Black. She's been tons of character roles and things you'd recognize like Law and Order, NCIS, all that kind of stuff. Anytime you're a character actor, if you haven't made it into Law and Order yet, that's your major milestone there. Once you get into Law and Order, that's it. You've hit the big time.
Wasn't Nick Blood also in Euphoria?
Yes, he was.
Okay, we got to throw that out there. We don't want the people that love Euphoria to be like, how did they not mention him from Euphoria? Which I've never seen the show.
Yeah, I haven't either. So
we just completely skip over that. But yes, he's in that. Just in case, we got to throw it out there. Get those Euphoria credits.
Yeah, we don't want anybody Euphoria fans mad at us.
It's too drug filled. I can't do it. I can't handle it. So the film is it's actually filmed in Portugal.
Yeah.
In a forest over there. So it's very lovely looking. It's very scary. The atmosphere is fantastic. For someone that I love nature, but I don't want to be out in like that kind of an area by myself.
I like nature in the sense that I want to go to a park where my cell phone still works.
Yes, that's like a flat. There's no crazy like mountain hills like that.
Yeah, there's no part of this park where you can disappear and never be seen again. Also, I want to be able to see my car at all times when I'm at said park, not be able to just like, oh, I went around a corner and now no one knows where I am. So yeah, that kind of stuff's horrifying to me too.
Now, the film right off the bat, I was like, okay, I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, that's interesting. I feel like they gave away like the best visual of the film in the trailer, which, if that's the only visual you have in the whole film, maybe don't put that in the trailer. I get that it's meant to draw people in, but at the same time, there's nothing, you have nothing else to offer.
Really?
Visually. The scene specifically I'm talking about is when they show another ranger and there's some weird, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, her face is all fucked up and there's just like blood shooting out. Like,
oh, she kind of had like a tree looking face.
Yes, kind of like a tree blood face, which sounds insane, but that's like the scariest image in the whole film, and they show you that in the trailer. So after that, it's like, okay, well, there's nothing else. This is spoiler alert.
We'll put in the description too. There'll be some. We're not going to spoil the whole thing, but there may be some small spoilers in here.
Okay, well, Shad's being very nice because I just wanna. I feel like I can't. I don't want to say rip the film an asshole, but I can't. I said I don't want to say. Don't look at me like that. If I can't fully discuss it, I just think that it's very ambiguous. There's no information in the film. So we have this character, Lennon, who's played by Georgina Campbell, and she's a backcountry park ranger. It's a summer thing. There's rangers that are put in several spots throughout this park.
National park, yeah. It's like Arvos National Park, which is kind of, they don't really explain where that's at.
Yeah, somewhere. And, their job, obviously, park ranger, walk around, maintain, pick up garbage, make sure nothing insane is happening, just take care of the area that you're in. And, they make it a point to give you that there's some back history with this character. Right off the bat, that's where it's just like, okay. So she, as soon as she arrives, lays out a map and a missing person's picture, which is a child. And you kind of see the last name of the kid is Lennon. So you're like, okay, there's some obviously relationship. So she got this job to just find this kid, okay? But if this was like a well-known story within the park, and they know that you're related to this person, would they put you in the same area if you're a park ranger? Like, even if you ask for the transfer, because it seems there's a point in the movie where she's having a discussion with some visitors, and it seems like this is something that she's been wanting to be transferred to. She's been wanting to go to the back country part for a really long time.
Yeah.
So I don't think that that's something that would happen in real life. Like, on a psychological level, like, if you're able to, like, okay, they passed the psychological, like, test that they're not, fucked up mentally over whatever happened, they'll be able to fully execute their job without anything interfering. But at the same time, I mean, this is not that kind of a movie. They're not getting that deep with it. But I'm like, okay, that seems kind of like, I don't think they're going to be like, oh, okay, your sister or your child, because we don't really know at this point, went missing. Let's put you in that one specific place where they went missing. That's what we're going to do. No, that's not going to happen. So right there, flaw. What do you think?
Yeah, it does seem like that's a little bit of a hole, but at the same time, as we learn later on, there's some extra things going on that we don't really know about. So maybe they would put her there because that would lead to something.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, we don't find any information. There's no there's minimal information given in the film. So if you're a person like me that needs to know, like, why this happened, who or what is this thing, where it came from, you're not getting any of that, okay? It's a girl in the forest, some shit gonna happen, they're gonna be one scary scene, the movie gonna end, the end. Like,
there's more than one scary scene.
Fine. There's 3 scary scenes. I don't think the other scenes are scary. What I have to say, for someone's first film, beautiful. I mean, the film is very, like, the VP, like, visually, it's, what did I say?
The VP.
The VP.
The vice president did a great job.
The vice president did a great job. The director of photography did a great job with the area. I mean, you get the scariest part of the film for me is the isolation part. Oh shit, I'm here by myself. There's no one around me. My radio is a piece of shit that's not working. Like, I gotta shit in the woods. Okay, right there, that's fucking scary. You know, I gotta bathe booty naked out here with nothing to cover me. Like, I don't like any of that. You could have all that. And the room, it's not even a house. It looks like a little mini cabin, but the cabin's walls and ceilings and
canvas.
Like everything is canvas. Like, what? Like, when it rains, how does that work? Okay, but and then there's like a chair, bed. Okay, there's quotation marks going on here. You can't see them.
It's a cot.
It's a cot. Okay.
And a desk.
Everything's made out of wood, hard as hell. I'm just thinking hard. There's no pillow. It's not good times. Okay. No, I don't care if they're paying me the $29 an hour. It's not worth me coming out with a crooked ass back and spider bites on my ass and none of that.
Well, I think too, like, the sheer boredom out there would be unbelievable, because it's not like you could have any signal out in that area to be watching anything on your phone or do anything. And even if you're not the kind of person, typically the kind of person that takes a job out there like that, they're really not going to care about watching anything on their phone. They're not going to be a big internet, social media kind of person.
Exactly.
But I wish they'd shown her bring some, like, a book, a magazine, a guitar, something to do out there, because I feel like that's the first thing you're going to do. You're going to start going crazy from just the sheer boredom, because it's going to be dark out there. Who knows? Maybe 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's going to be pitch black. Then you're just sitting out there in the dark with nothing to do. She had a lamp, bring a book, bring a magazine.
Okay, the woman, she gets dropped off by a helicopter. It's not like she rode in her little fancy park ranger fucking car up the mountain, 222, with all of your supplies in the fucking trunk. No, she's getting dropped off by a helicopter. She got a backpack, okay?
And like, a big cardboard box full of canned food.
Which was grape jelly, 3 cans of Campbell's soup, apple. Okay, she there for the whole summer. I mean, hot damn, are you hungry? There's nothing to eat. I'm hungry. I was hungry just watching the movie. Okay, I was like, I'm starving.
Yeah, also that place didn't have a stove. There was no, like, even like a wood stove for you to cook on.
Exactly. This is exactly what I'm saying. This is the horror. This is when they, like, the genre wise, this is a horror movie. That's the horrific aspect of the movie. The fact that this woman was going to have to eat that Campbell's soup. I don't know if anyone out there that's listening has eaten Campbell's soup out of a can when it's cold, but it's gelatinous. Okay?
It's not good times.
It's not delicious. You're chewing it. It's fucking disgusting. Okay? Now look, one can say, hey, you know, maybe she obviously she knows how to live in the woods. Maybe you can't put a fire out there. The whole fucking forest will burn down. I feel like that's a big no-no to, like, build a fire, right?
Well, yeah, they have campfires. Obviously, people do that. So you could build the campfire safely and do that. I just feel like she's going to have to be, like, just cooking this. Like, there wasn't even, like, a fire pit out in front of that place.
There wasn't even a pan. Where was she cook? Where was she
going
to
cook it?
Yeah, I
didn't
didn't
see any of that.
She going to cook it in the can?
You can.
I guess. I don't know. And no wonder she goes crazy, because all she had was an apple and a can of apple. There was no even bread. Where was she putting this grape jelly in? Anyways, so yeah. we could just do a podcast on the supplies she didn't have. Okay. That's the podcast we're going to do.
Yeah, the things that she should have brought out into the woods with her.
There was
Number
no book.
one, a
no
flare
book.
gun.
Flare gun. She had no flare gun. There was no book. This is a reader's dream, okay? You get to read, no one bothering you, okay? You could read, bring the whole damn Harry Potter series, okay? Boom. Perfect. You don't got to bring the hardcovers. You bring
Finally time to sit down and read War and Peace out there in the middle of nowhere. You've got all the time in the world.
Okay, you already said it was boring out there. Let's not bring War and Peace, okay? That's just terrible.
Just throwing out something.
Something. At that point, I don't even care what the fuck it was.
Bring The Stand by Stephen King. That'll take you a while to read.
Shit, that would take you a while to read. Also, I would be paranoid as hell. I'll be looking over my fucking shoulders. The fucking Flag is after me. He could just gonna come out the damn woods. I wish Flag would have been in this movie.
But it doesn't take long for her to be out there. You know, obviously something strange is going on because she's listening to a podcast where they're talking about there's no record of how many people go missing at national parks. And at this particular park, numerous people have gone missing because there's and this and other parks like it, there's a lot of granite rocks and rock formations. And these people go missing near this and they go missing near water. And so you're like, right away, you're like, my first thought was aliens, was like there's some kind of alien thing that's going to be going on out here in the middle of nowhere.
And then your last thought was like, oh, okay, well, we'll never know.
Jesus.
It's like the Tootsie Pop, and the world may never know. That's exactly how the movie ends, with the guy in the fucking, he's the owls in the thing eating the damn Tootsie Pop. Do I sound mad? Like I was mad about the movie?
You're a little mad about the ambiguity of the movie.
I don't care for ambiguous. My sister and her boyfriend, Academy Award. They're like, this is the best movie I've ever seen, I'm sure. If they saw this movie, they would love it because they're all about the ambiguous. I'm not an ambiguous person to some extent, but give me some meat, man. And then, like, it had rules, but it didn't follow the rules. It was kind of wholly, like, it did. So, to some extent.
You find out as the movie goes on that it's her sister that's been missing in the woods. That her and her sister were out there with their parents, and the sister, like so many other people they talk about in this, was just there 1 minute and gone the next.
Yeah, I have to say the most interesting part of the movie was the damn podcast. I was like, can't you just put the podcast back on? Also, if you're a park ranger, maybe you shouldn't have both earbuds in your ear, because how are you going to hear while you're walking?
Coming up on you?
Exactly, or someone yelling for help. If you have that blasting high as hell in both ears, it wasn't like she was just doing the one ear thing. It was in both. I mean, I would want it in both ears too. I was just like walking about, bored as hell.
They did, however, address my thing. I was like, how is she going to charge that phone or whatever it is? And I saw, oh, she's got the little solar thing on her bag that she's charging it with. I was like, okay.
Yeah, but then we find out that the thing ran on batteries.
No, that was the walkie-talkie that ran on batteries.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, her phone or MP3 player wasn't working on those.
Yeah. Which, like, you got to take, like, you got to go to Costco. This is what she should have done. She should have gone to Costco or El Casco, whatever it is in fucking Portugal, I don't know. And she should have gone there and bought, like, all the batteries she needed, like, a bag of apples, maybe 2 bags. I mean, you're there for 3 months or whatever. We're assuming that the duration, because they're there for the summer.
Yeah, I said it was the summer, because obviously when the winter hits, it's going to be too cold to be there.
Of course. Well, yes.
Because you're not going to be able to make it out there in the wintertime. They could barely survive in the summer.
Well, I was going to say after summer comes fall, but you went straight to the winter. But yes, it's going to
be too cold for people to be out there camping, that they're going to need to be out there monitoring them, you know.
She did have a sweater at the beginning. It had holes in it, though, so I don't know how, like, warm that was going to, keep her, but nevertheless.
Not too warm. But so you realize that there's something unusual going on out there. And she gets someone that shows up at the little ranger station there that says, they were here, then they were gone. They're freaked out and terrified. She, does the typical horror movie thing of she runs out without being prepared, runs out in her bare feet, running across the ground, the rocky, dirty ground. And, after that, her feet are messed up for the rest of the movie. She's limping and walking around. It's like, put on some shoes. You didn't have to put on all the socks and everything, but surely your shoes were right there by the bed. Just shove them on and go. But so they all start looking for this missing person. And they're very particular to her. Stay here at the house, or stay here at the area where the campsite. don't leave. Don't go off. She might come back here. Wait for her. But in typical horror movie fashion, she just says, no, I'm not going to do that. She immediately goes off and starts looking for this woman. She finds her, and that's where things start to go very bad for her.
Yeah, and then that's it. We can't disclose anything else because it's a non-spoiler. It's slightly spoilers. But I thought there were some bloody panties on the floor. But then we don't know what, there was some kind of fabric that had blood on it. But then when they found the chick, she had blood all over her hands and her inner thighs. It looked like she was like, it was the first time she had her period and she wasn't prepared, and there was just blood just coming down from her inner thighs all the way down to her knees. So something happened, but we don't know, and we'll never know what happened to her. So, she gets rescued, and then at that point, that's when the movie goes on from there to show you where these people that are missing may or may not go. Like I said, the podcast actually was the most interesting, to the point where I'm like, I wonder, I mean, obviously that has to be a thing. I'm not really into those kind of podcasts, like, like the real, like
the true crime things.
True crime. I'm not into a true crime podcast, or like finding out, because I'll become paranoid. I won't leave my house. Finding out like, oh yeah, I know people do go missing in the national parks, but like going missing, I guess, and then eventually they find your body. But going missing and there's like, you just like vanished from like the entire world, like blinked out. That is like really scary. Like, where did you go? Like, where are you? And I feel like the premise of that could have been expanded upon more. There was the meat, there was story there, but it wasn't really fully executed, and it was not fully committed to. It was kind of just like, throw me a bone, and then there was barely any meat on the bone.
See, I don't know if that would work, though. If you really just went down and explained everything, it wouldn't be as scary or as disturbing, whereas you don't know what's happening.
I'm not saying that they have to say like, oh, the monster came from this thing and it was from this planet, or it's a demon from the baths of hell section A and then mother didn't love it. I'm not saying it needs to get all this information about that. I'm just saying like something though, like maybe
there is a little bit of an explanation.
Barely. Maybe
there's a little bit of explaining about what's going on, why not exactly why it's happening, but why it's happening to her is explained.
Yes, what's happening to her is explained, but why is it a constant occurrence? Why there's the need to be, let's go out on a limb, is sacrifice, or these people are constantly being taken from these parks? Is it?
But again, that's part of the mystery of it, and the scary part of it is that people do disappear every day, and you never know what happened to them. People do just walk around a corner and disappear, and you never know.
It's scarier to me if I know. See, and it's the opposite side, like how I'm annoyed with like Rob Zombie's Halloween. Like he wants to say, oh, the kid had a bad childhood and his mom was a stripper and blah, blah, blah. That's why he became a killer. That's stupid to me. That's like fucking psychology 101. Like this is poor fucking writing, right? That I don't like. But when it comes to like an entity, something supernatural, whatever, because we don't know what it is, something, I need a little bit of something. Like, maybe if it was more lore-based, like, like The Guardian, like I was saying, like it was like a dryad or something like that. You don't have to give me the whole picture, but at least give me something. I don't know. That's just me. I need a little more. That's more scary to me to know, like, oh shit, like this lore is real. Like there's some like creepy ass like pixies or fairies or some shit out there that are just swooping people up. You don't gotta say like, oh, they're swooping them up to drain their bones and grind them into dust and they snort it like cocaine. Like, I don't need to know all of that. Like, we don't need to get into some crazy fucking explanation, but I need something. I don't know. That's just me.
I was actually okay with this one. I got enough of an explanation that I know things are happening. I know that...
We knew things were happening because they said it in the podcast.
I know, but I'm saying there's enough for me of what's going on that I can infer that, like I said, it's something has to be taking these people and there has to be a reason for it.
But we don't find the reason, though.
Yeah, we don't find the reason. But like I said, that to me is
that's the
scarier than
I feel
knowing what if they called out and said, well, we need every 16 days, we need a person for this, like you said, to make pixie dust out of their bones. I'm like, okay, but I don't know, drop some criminals off in the park in that case, you know?
So let's just throw another movie example. I just need to know, just shits and giggles. Jeepers Creepers. If it was just something flying around grabbing people, you wouldn't you would be fine with that. You the history of it only comes whatever the fucking Lord, every 13 years or whatever the fuck it is, every in spring or whatever
7 years I think it was.
Yeah, there you go. That is at least something. I don't have to know who created it, what is this. I mean, obviously you know what its purpose is. It comes out to eat. That's something. That's what I'm talking about. If it was just if
you never got that with Halloween, Michael Myers just turned evil one day and started killing people.
But see, that because it's a real thing, it's a real person, it's a human, I can understand the evil in that person.
But they shot
just
him 6 times. 6 times.
But he was supernatural, obviously. I guess at that point.
You just said he was supernatural.
I don't know. I'm just he's a real person, but he's supernatural at the same time. I don't fucking know. Okay, that first of all, we can't use. That's part 2. That's not 100%. That's John Carpenter coming in with the second truck of money, and they're like, "We need a sequel." And he's like, "I guess."
He was already off the ground at the end of the first one, so we knew there was something wrong with him because nobody takes those kind of bullets.
Okay. You need to sit down, okay?
I'm sitting down.
Are you? Because you're just getting wild right now. Think about this, okay? Maybe Loomis...
I've touched a nerve here because Halloween, her favorite movie.
Loomis was obviously a terrible motherfucking shot, okay? He's old. He got one... Did you see his eye?
We saw him get hit all 6 times.
No, we do. Do we see him get...
Yes.
He reacts, but he could have been fakely reacting.
Oh, he just wanted to trick Loomis into thinking he was shot 6 times.
Yeah, so then he could jump out the window.
Backwards out the window.
Exactly.
So he could get away.
Yep.
Because he wasn't strong enough to beat this old man that you just said down.
Evil dies tonight.
Jesus. You can't have your cake and eat it too.
No, you know what? I don't appreciate the shit you just brought to my door, okay? I don't appreciate that whatsoever.
I just dropped it off there and now you have to deal with it.
I don't appreciate it.
It's like a baby at the firehouse.
That's not the point.
Now.
That's not the point. The point was when he was a child, okay, which is when he killed his sister,
mm-hmm.
I can accept the evil in that. I don't need to know why he did it. Maybe he didn't appreciate his sister being a whore.
So I don't know. You're telling me that you weren't happy when you found out he was a Celtic killer passed down throughout the years?
That's part 4. We're solely. I'm just strictly.
That was part 6.
Whatever it is, I don't care.
You love it.
No, I'm just solely going from the first movie. Okay,
all right, we're off in the weeds here with Halloween. Let's get back to Lovely, Dark, and Deep.
You started this shit. You started this.
Anyhow, for me, I enjoyed the movie. It maybe could have been. It was only about an hour and a half long, but it could have had a little bit trimmed out of it and been a little bit tighter. Just because there was a lot of it where it is just people walking around in the forest. And I think we've all seen that enough in Blair Witch and all the others. We already know the woods are creepy. We don't need to... It reminded me a little bit of the one we covered... Was it last year we covered the Bigfoot movies? With
yes. Literally at the tail end of last year.
Yeah, the Willow Creek. It reminded me a little of that, where you're out in the middle of the woods alone and there's creepy stuff happening around the tent.
Yeah.
Reminded me a little of that.
That was actually one of my, not my favorite part, but that part was creepy because it was just like, that's when I was like, oh, okay, this movie is there you go. The shit's gonna start happening or whatever. Nothing happens. Barely. I mean, At the end of the film, I was like, oh, I turn over and I say, hey, I feel like, not to take any work or credit away from Miss or Mrs. Sutherland. I don't know if she's married or not. Osgood Perkins. It left me with an
Osgood Perkins kind of feel.
An Osgood Perkins kind of feel of, y'all know what I'm talking about. And the one from The House, like his first movie.
Yeah.
Which I also did not like. I did not like his first movie. I love Black Coat's Daughter more than I like that first one, which I can't remember the name of the damn movie. We're going to call it White Ghost in the House. And because she was wearing a white dress, not because she was Caucasian.
Okay, yeah, I forgot the name of that one too. I gotta look that up.
But yes, it gave me that kind of thing. I'm gonna give this movie,
I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House.
Oh yeah, see, that's a very long title, very long. Just like the movie. That movie felt like it was 5 years long. My God, it was the longest movie in the world. The pacing was really bad. I give this one knife.
I am going the opposite direction. I actually enjoyed this one a lot. I'm going to give it 3 knives.
Wow, 3 knives?
I find it to be very creepy out there in the woods to be left alone like that with, like I said, I don't necessarily have to have the phone and be watching movies or TV all the time, but I would like something to entertain myself with. To me, that would be like being locked up in solitary confinement in jail, where you're just in there with a hard wooden cot and a lamp. And why do you even need the lamp? Because you have nothing. There's nothing to read. There's nothing to do. You're just kind of like you're in jail out there, basically. So I find that very scary, and I thought they did enough of an explanation at the end, without giving anything away, that you knew what was going on, that a little bit behind it to know that, like, okay, this is something that has to happen, and this is something that.
But why?
I know, but you're not gonna know. They don't even know why. It's just something that has to be done.
Yeah, that's
to me. This reminded me a little bit of Clive Barker's The Midnight Meat Train, the story, where there's the thing under New York. You have to sacrifice people to it, or else bad things will happen.
Okay.
And that's all you know about that. And that there's a creature under there. You have to give it people from time to time, or something bad will happen. You don't really know why it's there. You don't really.
But you know it's a creature, right?
It's ambiguous. There's some things in there that serve the thing that's under there, but you're not sure exactly what they are or what they're doing.
I'm gonna tell you right now. You said there's a midnight meat train. I would say it's midnight. There's a subway. There's tunnels in the subway, and it's in New York. Boom, that's already scary for me. Like, I don't need. Of course, there's something fucking crazy living down there. Of course, there is. I mean, come on, sold. But in this woods, I don't know what's there. Is it a demon? Is it a fairy? Is it what is it? I don't know.
Maybe it's aliens. Who knows?
Maybe it is aliens. I don't know. We're never gonna know. But there you go. Well, we're divided, actually. I think this is one of the few films where we're massively divided. Also, I do not appreciate how you brought Halloween up, okay? Just erase that complete conversation from the podcast. So this is you're not gonna listen to that because it's gonna get erased.
Oh no, it's happening. That's staying in.
Thank you for joining us for our bonus episode. Stay tuned to the horror.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.